I got an email about a week ago from the allotment committee saying the allotment site had been broken into by thieves and numerous plots had been targeted, and they'd gone into people's sheds and probably nicked tools and such. This is the first opportunity I've had to come up to the allotment to see what they've nicked from me. How exciting. Well, let me show you what's gone on in the shed. Absolutely nothing. Fork, rake, hoe, spades, they're all there. Yeah, so I don't think they touched my shed, or if they did, they weren't interested in any of these tools. Watering cans are there as well, so yeah, I was lucky. I need to remove this netted cloche from the broad beans which are struggling to grow underneath it. Normally I wouldn't net my broad beans, but this year something was having a nibble at one of them in the far corner there. So as a precaution I did net them, but they do need to come out of it now, and that's it. They'll just be exposed to the elements, and fingers crossed nothing will touch them. Not an impressive display of beans this year so far, and they are getting absolutely battered by the pea and bean weevil, as you can see, chewing the heck out the leaves, and that's on every plant. Normally the plants outgrow the problem. Hopefully they will, although I've never seen it this bad before. Finally, it looks like my stirring onions are starting to pick up. A couple of weeks ago they didn't look so good, but I think that rain that we had a couple of days ago has really perked them up and pushed them on. As you can see, I've got a lot of weeding to do in between the rows. The beetroot are coming on strong, as are all these. Looks like a spot of weeding is in order today. A row of direct sown turnips on the right here, and on the left, classic lettuce. I don't know if you're going to make these guys out, but there is a definite line of parsnip seedlings coming up amongst the weeds. Yeah, like I've said, I've got to get in here and clean these beds up. I'll tell you what are looking good on the plot, and that's these guys here, the Swedes. I've never done very well with them in the past. The first year I managed to get a few, and ever since then they've always kind of, I don't know, just disappeared into nothing. But this row here is looking pretty good for me, so fingers crossed they will develop into some decent root crops, and come the autumn I'll be having Swede mash for my tea. Right, I'm going to get stuck in, clear these beds of weeds. I definitely want to see a clearer row of parsnip seedlings, and yeah, I'll come back to you once this is done. There we go, that looks much better. You can even see that row of parsnips now. What I want to do now is thin out this row of lettuce here. They're all sat on top of each other, bunched up. I'm going to take some out and create another row of lettuce going up here. And what that will do is give these more space to grow, and it will set back the ones that I plant here by a couple of days. So when it comes to harvesting the lettuce, these should be a little bit further on than the ones I'm going to plant out there. So I've just dug a clump out like that, and I'm just going to replant them, creating a new row along here. Well, you can see where I've taken them out from that row there, and I've created 2 new rows of lettuce there. Some of these will die, but the ones that don't will have plenty of space to grow, and like I said, this will set them back maybe even, I don't know, a week, maybe 2, I don't know. Which is perfect for me because I want to try and stagger my crops this year. So those will be ready before these 2 rows here. So just when you thought there couldn't possibly be any more lettuce in this particular video, well, you'd be wrong, because I bought this pack of cos lettuce a couple of weeks ago, and yeah, they need to get planted out right now. You know, I like lettuce, I really do. I just think I'm going to have way too much of it this season. These plugs are really dry, so they are going to need to be watered as soon as. Beautiful my neighbour's pink lupin is. I do love these flowers. Plenty of spikes on that plant, and they're just starting to open up. A couple of seed bombs here that I need to get rid of. This dock and clump of weed offends me, so it's coming out. Get out! I need to get some French climbing beans started in pots at home. I normally plant them just in front of this structure, this fence thing here that I've got on the plot. Right, why don't I get the canes sorted for that, and then when I get home, yeah, I'll think about planting some climbing beans. Alright, that's the cane sorted for the French climbing beans when I get around to planting them. Everything else needs a big old water. The broccoli, these poor broad beans, and everything else that I weeded earlier on and planted out. Right, let's get to that. Before I go this evening, I definitely need to cover the lettuce up, otherwise Mr. Rabbit will be in quicker than you can shout, "Get off my land!" This is my rosemary bush, and as you can see, it's just a tangled mess of nothing really. So this year it's definitely coming out, probably in the next couple of weeks, and I'll plant some more rosemary in its place, obviously much smaller plants, because I think the rabbits are getting down in amongst it and chilling out. So they're using this as cover, and I want to eliminate it. Anyhow, like I said, that's coming out, but not just yet. Before I do that, I've got to plant some more swede in this bed here. Alright, that's the swede planted out and covered up. Hopefully the rabbits won't get into there, but who knows. Well, we'll know in the next video, surely. Right, that's the state of play on the plot at the moment. I think it's time for me to go home. Knackered, cream crackered. Whew. Well, it looked like my plot was spared any thievery, so I dodged a bullet there. Oh, yeah, all I want to do now is go home and yeah, have an old speckled hen. Right, that's it. Thank you for joining me if you have. Remember to hit that like button, share, subscribe, but most importantly, please do comment down below. And until the next video, bye for now.